Installation guide for Relat Battery Monitoring System. Step 1. Designate battery number. When arrive the site, we should check the battery group. Confirm the location of the battery group. Find out the positive and negative terminal of the battery group. The first battery or battery number 1 will be the first one at the negative terminal of battery group. Please paste the battery number for each battery. Step 2. Install Kelvin washer. The battery breaker should be disconnected before install Kelvin washer. Before disconnection, we should use the multimeter measure the voltage of the battery group. Next, disconnect the battery breaker. Remove the both of the positive and negative terminals of the battery group. Wrap electrical insulation tape. Now, there's a complete disconnection of the battery group from the UPS. Remove off the ball of the terminal of the battery. Place the Kelvin washer between the battery entering cable and the hose bolt. Use the torque wrench to tie the bolt. We have complete installation of the Kelvin washer. Please measure the voltage of the battery group again. Please confirm the voltage reading is in consistency with previous measurements. Then, connect the positive and negative cable from the battery group to the battery breaker. Step 3. Install battery cable. Battery cable is connection from the battery to the battery sensors. The red wires should be inserted to Kelvin washer of the positive terminal of the battery. The black wires should be inserted to the Kelvin washer of the negative terminal. Step 4. Install battery sensor. Please check the ID address at the side of the battery sensor. Number 1 to battery number 1. It should be matched with the battery number. Plug battery sensor in the connector of a number 1 battery cable. Tear off the stick of the vehicle at the back of a battery sensor. Place the battery sensor at the side of the battery or at the top of the battery. Gently press it for a few seconds. Step 5. Install current detector. Current detector should be positioned along positive or negative terminal of the battery group. Current transducer should be used with current detector. There have a mark of allow on the label. If install allow positive cable of the battery group, the allow should point to the positive of the battery group. If install allow negative cable of the battery group, the allow should point to the battery breaker. Step 6. Install communication cable. Connect communication cable from eye sensor to CT. Step 7. Install control module. Control module should be positioned along battery group. It should be multi-area enclosure or battery rack. Fix it in the 4 screw holes. Then mount the power supply along the control module. Step 8. Install AC cable. Install the 6 AC cable. The mount on the black and red wire should be consistent with the power supply. Then tighten the bolts by the flathead screwdriver. Step 9. Install power cable. Number 4 power cable is connection from control module to power supply. Look at the red and black terminal. Red terminal put in the positive. Black terminal put in the negative. Tighten the bolts by the flathead screwdriver. Pull out the plug at the side of the control module. Please put the red and black terminal in the plug. There are 4 pins in the plug, 2 pins in the middle are positive. Both sides of the pins are negative. Tighten the bolts by the flathead screwdriver. Put the plug in the power supply of a control module. Step 10. Install power cable. The 5th power cable is connection from eye sensor to power supply or between 2 eye sensors. Red and black terminal put in the positive and negative hole of the power supply. The Y connector of the fixed power cable plug in eye sensor. Step 11. Install R-bus cable. The second power cable is communication connection between controller, R sensor, and eye sensor. Connect the fixed length R-bus cable from one to another sensor one by one. Use the crimp tool to make RJ11 connector with an appropriate length of a long R-bus cable. The long R-bus cable is connection from sensor to controller or from controller to sensor. That's a complete R-bus loop connection. Step 12. Organizing cables. Organizing cables and keep neat and clean. Allow to use the cable ties to fasten cables. Step 13. Turn on battery breaker. We have completed the whole installation. Turn on battery breaker and reconnect.